Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to finish off my little Scrappy fabric bag. Now I haven't had a chance to really get back to it for a little while, and I wanted to wait until I was back in Brisbane to see what scraps I had to work out what I do on the opposite side to where I worked this. Now we'll just rewind for anyone who's just stumbled across my channel. I'm making a bag. Well, no, it's not a bag. It's a tray to put projects in when I move to another room and I've got everything I need to do with that project. And I decided to base it on those bread bags or bread trays. I don't have the example with me because it was a touristy thing I actually bought in Paris, and they usually tie together on the corners like so, and they put their croissants in it. And I thought, well, for me, that actually could work. So I've got my container of fabrics with me that I bought back from the craft room in Burrum. And now I've got my Brisbane scraps nearby. So I'm hoping that, I've got everything I needed to finish it off. Now, if you remember rightly, I based my little Fairy Wren on a fantastic little cluster of bird patterns that the lovely Susanna from Vintage Blend Studios put together. So we've got future birds for future projects. So the wren caught my eye first. It was actually on a little sampler that she sent me as a gift, and then I decided to pester her to create that little pattern for us. The links are below for you to go and find the little wren and have a little play. So this side I'm calling complete. Now the second side, the other reason I haven't got to it for a little bit and wanted to wait till I got back to Brisbane is I knew I had some of this, look, I call it calico canvas. It's canvas fabric, but it's not as thick as you would think. I'm not sure where it's come from originally because I bought a scrap of it, probably about 5 meters of it at Sewing Lair, and I've used it a lot. Now, when I made these bags, it was the substructure to all the walls for these. So I thought I'll just hold my horses, wait till I get back to Brisbane, have a look at the canvas, cut a piece, and go from there. And as I was packing up everything to come back to Brisbane, I was nearly tempted to cut a piece of this fabric out to be my background, but I thought, no, wait, because I got heaps of scraps in my little rice bag here. So I'm hoping that there's some inspiration down there that I can use. So the first thing I did is I cut myself a piece of this canvas. It is just going to add that little bit extra structure to my tray. I'm trying not to have to put cardboard in. That's what the sample had in it. There was a piece of cardboard here, here, and here, and then one in the base, and that held its side, and that was stitched around, and that sort of gave it its structure. I don't really want to do that. So this will be the side seen when the bag is sitting on the bench. Question is, do I just use one piece of fabric? When I designed this whole idea, I did it 12 inches by 12 inches, which was a fat quarter. See, 12 by 12. Another reason why I wanted to get back to Brisbane, because I've got some fat quarters and things like that. I had a glance in the box of them and my drawer of fat quarters, and there's nothing there that really suits. So I'm back to what is in here. Gosh, I've got a bit of everything in here, threads and everything. I sort of tend to pack things a little bit together. What scrappy bits do we have that I could use? Got a bit of everything. I was reluctant to chop into a lot of these fabrics when I did it because I knew I had pieces in Brisbane. Oh goodness me, there's bits and pieces everywhere here. A lot of indigo dyed fabric. I don't think we want to go down the indigo dyed. What I was looking for was beiges, actually. I had a feeling I wanted to do a beige. It's so pretty. Oh, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to do the whole scrappy thing, to be honest. Got this blue fabric. All of that would wash off. That's the sampler off the back of this. Remember when we did that? Oh, hello. Look. Oh, you're kidding. How big's this? Oh, so close. I wonder. I've got this one as well. That doesn't suit. Oh, you know what, guys? Genius. Genius. Let's get all this back in here, because I think I'm going to use this piece of stitchery. We might revisit this little stash, mind you, because there's probably some bits in there that I could put onto that front piece just to embellish it a little bit more. Let's get all this out of our way. Bitten by the bug. It's where I buy a lot of my Japanese fabrics. Oh, I wonder. That would just be too easy. A home for this. Oh my goodness. So how do I attach it? Oh, it's close. It's so close to the right size. With the trim. It's very lightweight. So maybe I've got to put a bit of wadding in there too. Where's my... Just looking in my drawer behind me to see if I can see something I could use. Here, what's this? The thicker the better, because it'll help give my little tray some structure. I don't want it to be flip-flopping. So maybe I can invisible stitch. Yeah, this, let's do, I think this can be ironed on too. Oh no. Maybe I can invisible stitch it on. If I was to bury my stitches within that sashiko stitching, maybe I use that. Well, it's only rattling around in my project bag with no real home. Oh, that just would be too slick. Okay, so I've got a bit extra wadding, can't hurt. It's all about giving my sides to my little tray structure. So that's in position. Okay. So that would then go onto there. I'm going to do it. Well, it's got no home. And if I can go through and stitch, like bury my stitches. Where's my pins? I might use applique pins actually. Oh, that was meant to be. I might just pin it. Need to get it reasonably flat. I might have to give it an iron too. I still have chalk marks showing, but I'm okay with that because that's the maker's mark. They do eventually wear off. But like a lot of them have actually gone in the short time it's been rattling around since I've completed it. I did this on the way to France. I bought these little kits, these little sashiko stitcheries, and thought, oh, if I don't get in and do them, try this this form of stitching and see what I think, and hey, it was okay. It's one of those, if you don't want to think too hard, go for it. You're just following the dotted line. There's a real trick to it, but don't get me wrong. To do it properly, and I'm not saying I did, you don't knot. You've got to weave your thread in and out. And you sort of got to make it look like it's seamless. I'm just wondering if I pause the video and go and wash this and iron it. I sort of like the fact that those markers are there. Feels very rustic. If I gave it an iron, do you think it'd shrink? Well, it's going to feel beautiful. With that stitching done, it just feels textured. What's it say on the instructions? I'm trying to decide whether I stop what I'm doing and go and wash the piece. Are there any instructions on that? Whoops. Remember the bit we cut off the back? I just saw it a minute ago. What do I do with it? There it is. Are there any washing instructions? Oh, are you serious? That's not going to help me much, is it? I don't want to lose the intensity of the blue. I'm a little bit wary about washing it, guys. Maybe I could use that as the trial. Yeah, I might go do that. I'm going to go and I'm going to pause the video. Actually, no, I'm not. I can come back to this. This is, yeah, I know what I'll do. I'm going to go and wash this and see what it does. Does it lose its colour? Does the print disappear? That will then help me to decide what I do with this. Now, the plan is to pin it all down and then go through with needle and thread and make my stitch disappear and catch it all down so it becomes one with the fabric. And then we'll sandwich that onto there like so with more stitching. I'll probably do a little slip stitch. I might fold that over, slip stitch, just so it all molds together. I don't think I want to come through all surfaces because I don't really want to interfere with the look of this. And then it'll all be one. And I have a feeling when I pinch those corners together, and my plan is to stitch this in. I'm not putting ties. I want that rustic, messy look. Yeah, I think that will work. Yep. So in the meantime, once again, back to square one. Well, we've got a plan anyway. That's just a straight stitch after I do a test wash. I've never washed them. I don't know. I'm sure you guys who are experienced in this will know exactly what's about to happen. But in the meantime, let's just have a little rummage through all my scrappy bits here and see if there's any additional little morsels that I could use. Like I saw that. And it's classic Japanese, isn't it? Just some little bits, just to embellish a little more. This is what I was missing when I created this piece, this little box of tricks. So I had a feeling that once I got back to my room in Brisbane, I'd find all sorts of little bits and pieces to maybe add. Let's have a look. Oh, see, I didn't have many neutrals after all. That's a good one, or is that the reverse? That one will go in. Just adding a little bit extra interest to my piece. Yeah, where's my pins? I'm filming in the afternoon, so I'm sort of racing a bit to beat the sun that's going to go down on the west, and that throws a lot of shadows into my room. So I am pushing it a bit. See, see, if I had my container of bits, look at that, that would have been perfect. It's all good. Save for a rainy day. What else have we got here? Most of these, see, there's a piece of that. Doesn't matter. Just looking for a tiny bit of that. Bits like that, just little. Here we go. Oh, I don't mind that. That's a nice dark piece. Oh, it's upside down. Okay. Let's cut that in half. I'm going to put one piece out. Oh, my tummy's rumbling. I feel like something nice for afternoon tea. And I don't think I've got anything nice. See, that's not stitched there. That's right. Because I didn't end up going across there with that. So I could certainly do with something there too. There's a piece. Nope, too similar. Sort of don't mind that. Oh, you could seriously fiddle with this all day. It's these little pieces that start to make the piece interesting. I feel like I need something to connect. There'll be something here. Maybe even a piece of hessian. But it is in the bend, isn't it? Yeah, no, I'm not going to worry about it because it's where it's going to crease. So I might just continue this stitch, do that, and then that side bends up. Yep, no, all good. I could look through these fabrics all day. These were a couple little packs that I got from Bitten by the Bug. Some indigo dyed fabric, then some little neutrals, as well as some Japanese fabrics. And it was just a lovely way to get my head around what exactly the industry is. I might take that pin out of there because that's trouble waiting to happen one day. Because I'm fairly new to the whole Japanese fabrics. Isn't that beautiful? And I haven't really done a lot. What's that piece? Well, I do like those dragonflies. They've always been a bit of a favourite. So there's nothing yummy in there, but do we add some dragonflies? If we did, where would we do it justice? No, just can't find the perfect spot. Leftover threads from when I stitched the panels. More fabric. Gosh, it just goes to show how little you actually need of fabrics to make something, unless of course you're doing, you know, a big blanket or quilt. What about that little piece? It's sort of not fitting in with that. Okay, so I dig deeper into my little, there's a piece that's just fallen on the floor, a neutral. I sort of kept the neutrals in there, I don't think. See, there's a big piece. I might put that in with the box of big things. And here's some more. Oh, hello, what do we got here? No, nothing's, maybe that's it. I'll put that one in that box so that this is really just scraps. And I've got threads that suit. The good thing about this is I can just grab it and go. That doesn't really suit, but oh, here's another bit that's no, save it. I've got a couple little bits. Okay, all right, pack all that back into the little rice bag that's connected to that theme of stitching. So now I need thread to stitch it, don't I? Which I don't have. That was bright of me. Where is my thread? All right, hold that thought, guys. I just want to jump up and grab my container where I know I have some threads. Actually, I think that's one behind me. Nope. I think it's this one. Nope. Nope. That's it. Number 8. Okay. So, oops, did I just kick it? Yes, I did. Of course I did. So the plan now is I will test wash that. If that disappears and I don't lose that beautiful dark blue indigo tone, I will wash my piece. I will then invisible stitch it to those two other layers, the canvas and the wadding. Once that's done, I'll slip stitch all of it together so it's one piece. And what will I do around here? I think I'll just do a running stitch actually. And then I can do my sides and stitch them into position and it'll be done. So this will be the last video. What I'll do is I'll piece together my process in a moment or two. But let's just get these extra little morsels stitched on and then we'll call the top or the inside of the bowl done. I'm going to take that off and really give this little swatch here the attention it deserves instead of trying to slip around behind it. This needle's a bit of a big thick thing, so I'm finding it pushing it through all these layers is quite a task. Well, that'll give me some homework to do, won't it? We've got a nice sunny day today, so I can get that dry reasonably quickly. If not, it'll at least dry overnight because it is actually getting later in the day. So thank you everyone for your kind comments too. You guys just are the best, I tell you. You're very encouraging. Been meaning to say that for a little while. I get so caught up in the projects that I sort of forget to mention that you guys are just the sweetest commenters out there. You keep me going, especially if you've got a day where you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed by the sheer amount of tasks you have to stitch. Oh boy. So to have your comments, it's like, right, one project at a time, just keep nibbling away, and before we know it, it's finished. Now this little guy we'll add there, and I'm thinking we might do an overcast stitch on it. I did think about doing some more stitching around the little bird, my little twigs, but I don't know. I sort of like the fact that they're just there. It sort of tells the story that it's a little bird walking along the ground, but it's not overpowering. I'm so used to doing flowers and, you know, the whole palaver that we do when we're doing our little stitchery snippets, where this is just different, isn't it? It's pared back. It's just not as full on, and it's nice. I love the colours. And yes, chambray is the name of that fabric. There's quite a few of you threw the word up there. I just could not get it into my mind, the exact words. I remember in the 80s when we were all wearing chambray shirts and overalls and skirts and it's probably why I'm seeing it pop up in the op shops a bit, chambray. And it's such a pretty fabric to stitch into, especially you can go from the blues into the creams and even a pop of red. It's just beautiful. Okay, so whizzing down this side. You could seriously just keep adding bits to this. And you never know, I might do a project and there'll be something left and I'll just stitch it onto the bowl. It would be pretty easy to slip stitch even after it's made up, to be honest. I know my scrappy rice bags are a bit that way. I pick up random bits of lace and suddenly just sit there and stitch it onto the bag. Well, that's a nasty big stitch. I have to go back. I missed. Yeah, that's better. To keep an eye on the time, because I will come back with some more of it done, and then it'll be a case of stitching up the sides, but really that's about it. It's not hard. You could add the little ties. I don't think I will. I don't think I'll need it. I think I'll just put a few well-placed little stitches to secure. Have I got enough thread to finish this side? I probably need 3 stitches. Maybe one more. Does that look right? Yep. Yeah, I don't think I'll put ties on it. The main reason too is when you've got your project in it, I don't want to be encumbered by straps and bits and floppy things in my way. I just want a simple scrappy bowl or tray. So I always felt like I didn't need those particular tie points. I'm thinking I can get in there with needle and thread and just have a couple little ties So I got that one, and that one. We'll see how we go for time. I don't want to use the whole time up just doing this, but we're good. I think we will get them done, especially if I do running stitch around these little patches just as a highlight. There we go. Oops. I've got a big needle. The eye is big, so the thread's going to fall out easily. It's such a crowbar, but it's working. You wouldn't want to do a lot of stitching with it. I think you'd start to bruise your fingers. But I think this will be fine. We will get these couple little patches stitched down, and then I will pause the video. I'm going to go and do a test wash and see what happens. Can't hurt to at least try. And that way, if you out there are considering doing something with a little sampler that you may have bought, I got mine at craft fairs and a couple shops. And I just decided one day I was just going to focus on them and stitch them, because otherwise they're just sitting in the stash. I'm sick of looking at them. And it's good because I haven't bought any more since, because I've sort of been there, done that. It's not for me. I'd rather something that I'm a little bit more creative on. I wonder if I could stitch something in there. No. There we go. I'm thinking about my stomach, actually. I started thinking about what yummy thing have I got tucked away in the freezer that I could have. Nothing. I actually feel like some scones. That's what I feel like. But I couldn't be bothered making them. And the recipe that I like to make, if I could be bothered, has lemonade as the one ingredient. And I don't have any lemonade, so that's the end of that idea. I don't think I'd want to risk making them without that. Must be something somewhere. Little afternoon snack. Oh my goodness. Probably be a day or so by the time I get back to finish this actual video, so I'll let you know if I remember. Ow, that was nearly into my thumb. What this snack turned out to be. And if you have a nice delectable little snack, how about you write it in the comments of what you're snacking on. If you're stitching, I hope your fingers are clean. There we go. That's that little guy on. Good way to get rid of bits, isn't it? Oh, there's Bandit. He's heard something. Now, this little guy is next. I might do overcast stitch on him. It'll really pop. There we go. Won't take long. Then I shall pause, head to the laundry. If it's a disaster, well, I'll just stitch it all down and we'll leave it at that. And surely it'll come out. It's probably crucial information there, but I don't know, it seems to be all about actually you know, stitching the sashiko. If I'm saying that right. Gosh, you hear so many different pronunciations of the word. Sashiko, sashiko. I do not wish to insult anyone. They look like big dog's teeth. I don't like that. Sorry, it's coming out. Just don't know what I did wrong there. I'm thinking I might do a running stitch now. I don't like that. Nope. I'm probably overthinking it all. Let's try that again, guys. Let's try just a simple running stitch. That's better. Yep. I'll get 3 rows, one down the middle. Look at me, I'm all skew-if. Gee, it's got a bit rough here, hasn't it? My mat's sliding away. I can feel the sun about to peek through too, which will throw so many shadows. We've got probably about 30 seconds. That's all good. We've got probably a little bit longer than that. We'll be able to get this little guy down. I have to think about what else I can do with our little bird patterns that Susanna put together for us. You know what, I think I could even lay stitches. I'm just going to test something. I could go that way. I haven't done that style of stitching yet. Gives you a bit of a subtle crosshatch. It's very effective. Got thread left, so why not? Let's just do it. Mind you, it'll be tucked in the corner, won't it? I'm not even going to see it. Oh. Yeah, it'll be tucked into the corner. Oh dear, oh dear. Doesn't matter. I know it's there. It probably will peek through. Because the fabric will, oh yeah, it'll peek through. I'm going to end that off. I just need a tiny bit more. It's a nice little, it's a nice effect that when you go back over your running stitch in the opposite direction. I have completely distorted the print that was on that fabric, but it's all good. Just need a little bit. Okay, probably 2 rows is about all I need to actually stitch. Ah, now it's come undone. See, I'm rushing to beat the sun, and you lose your stitch, don't you? A lot of effort for a little piece of fabric that's going to be hidden in the corner of this little tray, this scrappy bowl. Isn't that just the way? There we go. 2 more stitches. All right, perfect. Okay, end that off. Gee, I hope I got enough layers that it's going to hold its sides okay. I guess we'll know soon enough, and I can always cut some card, some stiffening, something to stiffen it. I think it will be all right because it's, you know, now that especially now that I've got this canvas, I've got the wadding, I'm yet to stitch. It's really getting, you know, quite luscious. You can just make that piece out there. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, I'm off to trial washing the stitched piece. Let me just tidy up quickly. I want to put that big piece in there for a rainy day. So we've finished with our fabrics. It's just now joining all the layers, but first let's see what happens with this. All right guys, I'm going to pause the video. I'll toddle off, have a bit of a look at this, and be back in a second with the outcome. Okay, won't be long guys. Okay, I'm back. So an hour or two has gone by. I ended up washing it and it worked fantastically, if that's a word. The chalk line came out, and the little scrap piece of fabric, it washed up beautifully, and it too now is a scrap that I can use. So I was really pleased with that. I then went and invisible stitched along the entire piece to the wadding and the calico canvas. So I still then had my 2 pieces. I then sandwiched the 2 pieces together and I pinned it around the perimeter, trimmed it to size, and then went around and did a bit of a combination of overcast stitch and running stitch, just to sort of finish the top edge of my little basket. And because I've sort of mixed it up a little bit, it's a combination of the 2 stitches, and I really like it. It's got quite a rustic edge to it, which is what I was sort of going for. I haven't done an invisible stitch in here with the 2 pieces together. I sort of don't think it needs it. It's sitting really well. So the only thing holding the 2 decorative layers, that side and the bird together, is this outside edge. And I think it's come up quite well. So I don't think I need to invest any more time into, you know, stitching all that down. So the last thing to do is this last corner. I've also pinched this and stitched it with some little stitches down there like I had mentioned. So I thought I'd better come back and we can finish the last corner together and we will call the project done. So all I did was just square it up, and then I used a pin. Might go down, less chance of jabbing myself. So I didn't have a ruler with me on the couch when I was doing this stitching, and I just was interested to see how far I came in. By eye, I thought it was about 2 inches, and it's pretty bloomin' close. That's good. So at 2 inches, pinched it in with a pin, and now I'm going to pinch it in with a few stitches. And all I did was just, because there's so many layers, it was quite easy to bury my stitches. I did quite a few at the very top because I think that's a bit of a pressure point. And I just, where I came up and through, I went back that same sort of region because I don't really want to see my stitches. Now that I've got a few stitches there, I'm going to use my needle to travel down in the thickness of all of those layers. So now I'm down here, and then go just straight through back, straight through back. And keep working your way down. I can get rid of that pin now because it's sort of putting pressure on the joint. So now I've gone through a couple times. I'm going to scoot down to there and then go straight through to the opposite side. And then very close to where I came out, straight through again. That secures that stitch. And then scoot down a little bit further. I haven't gone right to the corner because it's so bulky. I didn't want to stitch down into there and have pressure on it. So I'm stopping probably 1/2 inch before the corner. Nothing's going to come out anyway. So now I'm to the point of finding my needle back into the center of my basket. So now I'm back in here and I just peeled it open, buried my needle deeper into that crease, and at that point I can knot it off, and the folds will hide the fact that there is even a knot there because I've sort of gone deeper from where I came out just then. That's it. That is it. I love it. I love it. And I cannot believe that that fit. Oh, considering I started this at Barham and then I've got back to my room to look for scrappy options instead of cutting into more of those bigger pieces of fabric. And that was in my rice bag, my scrappy rice bag. And now it's got a home. You just cannot plan that. That is just awesome. I love it. All right, everyone, I'm going to leave you all alone now. Thank you for joining me with this little project. I think this is video 3. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I think it's video 3. So, yeah, I've got my little project bag ready to have whatever I need in it. Got nothing else to grab. There's not even some cotton. There's some cotton to go to the couch with everything I need to do some homework. Okay, excellent. This one will be going back up to the Barham house because that's where I was lacking containers, and it'll be nice to slowly replace all of my little plastic ones that I've been using here in Brisbane. I still will use them, but yeah, it'd be nice to have a few decorative pieces around that I can sort of use as my storage vessels. All right, guys, I'll stop waffling on and I'll leave you alone. I might just open that up a little bit. So there you go. Love it. Love it, love it. All right, guys, look after yourselves. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time.